brother. Hey, man. It's Anthony Griggs, World Events Insurance, worldeventsga.com, back with you with Rod Jones from Blue Horizon. As I mentioned to you guys before, Rod is a financial planner, a life insurance agent, a broker, handles your retirement, handles estate planning, also has a tax franchise. Rod is a man that does it all. I respect him a lot, and I wanted to bring him on to share some information that I think is important to not only every community, but specifically, our community when it comes to preparing for your future, preparing for your next generation, preparing for your passing, and passing on wealth to our kids and our grandkids. So, Rod.
Yes, sir.
Tell me a little bit about yourself, man. What you got going on?
Man, so, it's quite a bit of things, man, which, I'm grateful to be operating within this space to where we have the ability to, help the family across the board, right? Anything from life insurance with living benefits, college planning, you name it, we can take care of that, right? And then also we just recently bought into a tax franchise as well. So, our family, is on to, working into with the mindset of building intergenerational wealth for not only our family, but also teaching others how to do the exact same thing.
Okay, that's real good. So, man, a lot of people don't understand life insurance, or why don't we start with estate planning? Let's start with that. A lot of people don't understand how that works. They don't understand what estate planning is in relation to how it protects you, how it operates within our financial system, because it's very important. So why don't you give us a breakdown of what estate planning is?
Absolutely, man. So, for those who may be, chiming in with this conversation, I think it's important to understand how, you have the ability to build out the things in which you do now, 3, 4, maybe even 5 generations later, right? So think about the seed that's coming up behind you. So we're paving a foundation today, right, in hopes that our children, their children, and their grandchildren will also take on to the legacy in which we're building today. But how do we do that, right? Unfortunately, life happens. And when life happens, we pass away, right? And we go to the grave probably still full of ideas and things of that nature, right? But by creating a living trust or an estate plan or some type of formalized sense of instruction, right, that speaks volumes from the grave, right? Leave a roadmap, as to how not only would you want your affairs today, that if life happened tomorrow, to be carried out in your absence. It's no different than you being present, being able to point the finger and say exactly what you want to happen to your estate and who you want to get what, who you would like to get what. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. So, so within that estate planning, in my understanding, are trusts important in the process of estate planning?
That's a great question. So when you think about a trust, most people that I speak with, they have a will, right? Maybe they have a will that was set up. Well, a will has the ability, if one child acts up, or, an ex-husband, or, anyone acts up and wants to contest the information that's within the will, that information then gets tied up with probate court. Well, with the living trust, having a living trust in place, the living trust speaks volume. No one can step in to question the things in how you want the processes to be carried out. There's no probate court involved, right? So hopefully that answers the question in short.
And which leads us to actually a good point and a good question. A lot of people don't understand probate. They really don't understand law and how our society is really built on legal, what I call legalese. It's legal terminology. We live in layman's terminology, and they operate in legal terminology, which is why we lose the game a lot.
Correct.
So why don't you explain real quick what probate is and how that affects you with a trust or not having a trust or not having a will and so forth?
Yeah, so only time probate comes up is when, someone disagree. And most oftentimes we see where, a person say have 2, maybe 3, 4, or 5 children. right? Maybe they're from the same marriage, maybe they're from different, different relationships. And so what happens is that that one child, who may not agree with the rest of the siblings in terms of, mom or dad's estates, right? That one person then, try to figure out, well, what did mom have and what's my portion, right?
Mhm.
And so when they find out that mom or dad maybe they weren't mom and dad's favorite, right? Maybe mom and dad just left them, $5, right, in their will. And so that person then obviously gets ticked off. Well, wait a minute, I'm just as equal as they are, right? So when you write those things out in a will, although a will is good to have, however, the ability to get tied up in probate then exists, okay?
Mhm.
And so with that, with having a living trust, as I mentioned earlier, has the ability to speak by into a grave. Now, when we talk about probate is a very interesting place, right? That nobody want to ever end up. Because think about this now. You think about all the funds or whatnot that you may have between retirement accounts, banking accounts, equity inside a property, or whatever the case may be. Then probate then starts to kind of eat away at those assets because someone has to front the bill of the argument. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
And basically, all probate is an argument. So you pay high, expensive attorney fees. You also, pay for, this information to be heard within the court. So
Mhm.
that stuff is chipping away at our financial means that we built up over the years. Why not take a few minutes to set up a living trust where you don't have to worry about that? And however you decide you want your house, your assets, your retirement accounts, your bank accounts, divided, the living trust will take care of all of that for you in an instance. You don't have to worry about that. If little Johnny or little Samantha is getting $5, that's all they're going to get is $5.
Hey, $5, that's it, right?
That's it, right? I'm just saying, right? Some kids cut up to where they
Hey,
probably only deserve $5.
hey, I could think of a few family members that cut up that should be getting just $5. But hey, I'm gonna digress on that one a little bit. But yeah, man, so that's great. So that's good, man, that you bring that up because I definitely wanted to point out that probate can eat away at your assets if you have any, because you just basically letting the court and the lawyers come in and charge their fees to argue the points when you guys could have figured it out easily beforehand,
Yep,
right?
absolutely.
Absolutely, great, man. So those are some great benefits of trusts and wills. Let's talk about a little bit about the financial benefits of life insurance and how it can benefit you, not only protecting you now, protecting you going into your passing, but also leaving your family and your next generation wealth. You're not leaving them bills, now you're leaving them benefits and wealth. Let's explain that for us a little bit.
Sure. So so life insurance has lots of curtains to it, right? And I think it's important to sit with the right person who can offer the multitude of different life insurances, or at least educate a person on the different life insurance options that exist, so that that person or that potential client can simply make an informed decision on what direction they like to go. So
Mhm.
first off the box, there's term policy. Term policy is the most affordable option that exists, right? You have to qualify for it in terms of health. There's also life insurance with living benefits. Most companies do not offer life insurance with living benefits. And what I'm finding in talking with new clients is that they have life insurance, existing life insurance, that does not have the added benefits, such as what we call living benefits of life insurance, right?
Mhm.
Living benefits of life insurance is vitally important in terms of planning now while we're still living. Most people don't want to have the conversation of life insurance because we have to think about maybe, oh, I have to die to utilize life insurance. Well, with our life insurance, right, with the living benefits, a person, if God forbid, there's things like a stroke, heart attack, cancer, kidney failure, paralyzation, coma, right, severe burns, traumatic brain injury, right, the living benefits of life insurance then kick in while that person is still living. When we think about the pandemic in which we're in right now, such as COVID-19, a lot of people have become incapacitated. Unfortunately, we had a lot of loss of life, right?
Mhm.
But then there's other people who, developed COVID-19 and they have become incapacitated, meaning disabled, right?
Right.
Well, with living benefits, guess what? That actually kicks in on behalf of a client. right? Meaning that they can actually file a claim for COVID-19 being incapacitated as long as the attending physician statement fits the criteria of what they actually qualify for and utilizing the living benefits. I know that's rather a lengthy answer, but I like to kind of dig in because I'm very passionate about this information. But then there's also permanent policies such as, participating whole life. There's index universal life insurance. There's variable universal life insurance, right? So people need to understand what their goals are for the life insurance, right? And then choose one of those options, if not two, right? Do you want to beat Uncle Sam to the punch, plan for retirement, tax-free retirement, or, do you want something where you get a guaranteed 4% return annually plus dividends, or do you want a simple term policy where that's the most affordable option and you want to leave $3, $4, $5, $6, $7 million behind for our family in the event, of a premature death?
Okay, man. Hey, those are good. That's a lot of good information because this, obviously there are a lot of products and variations that you could choose. So it's important to find a professional that knows what products are out there, what fits this family's goal, and how to provide that for that particular family. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. We touched base on a lot of a few things: estate planning, the trust and will, the benefits of that, the financial wealth, living benefits. What are some things that a person should do to start getting these things put in place? Of course, aside from calling you, right? What should they do to get some things in place?
Well, let me say this, Anthony. There's a lot of representation in the insurance space, right? Would I love to pick up additional clients? Absolutely, right? And feel free, to contact me. But one thing I would say is that just take the time, right? What I find is that most people won't take the time to simply sit down and have a conversation, to simply talk about what's important, right? We don't take the time. We're so busy doing everything else under the sun. There's a saying that we plan, we spend more time planning for vacations and what we're going to do over the weekend versus planning out how we're going to live the rest of our life and creating a substantial end game. Does that make sense? So with that said, take the time, right? 45 minutes, an hour, if that. Sit down, do what we call a fact finder, right? A fact finder is where we find out all the facts surrounding you, find out what your goals are, in life, and then we offer the solutions of choice, right? In which we can help you assist with. Maybe that's a mutual fund. Maybe that is, a Roth IRA. Maybe that's a SEP IRA, right? It just depends. Maybe it's a term life insurance. Maybe it's a permanent life insurance, right? But in order to reach that decision, to help a client make an informed decision, we like to sit down, take time, create a fact finder for the client, and then look at everything from a bird's eye view and help them simply come up with some solutions from to make an informative decision for their life.
Okay, well that's beautiful, man. Hey, everybody, just to let you guys know, we're just not talking out the side of our necks. I'm in insurance. My boy Rod is insurance, and I value him so much that I actually went to Rod and to talk to him about setting up life insurance for my family and my mom, in the hopes that my mom already has life insurance. She has retirement. She's ready to go. Her burial's already taken care of. She's good to go. But we're talking about setting up another life insurance policy that will leave a substantial amount of money to our family, my brother and my sisters, our entire family, that we can divvy up and spend towards our kids and set our kids up for their future. That's what I'm talking about. And if I can trust Rod to sit down and do this, you guys can trust Rod or someone else. Just begin the conversation with a professional and look at your options. We don't have to leave our family bills. We can leave them benefits. Hey, so Rod, real quick before we go, man, give them your contact information real quick.
Yeah, Anthony, thank you, man, for that. So you can reach me directly on my cell phone at area code 951-710-7853. You can also email me directly at rod@bluehorizonins.com. That's rod@bluehorizonins.com. You can reach me there. And then, or you can, if you choose, you can reach me at my office line. And I'm pulling that up now. That office line number is area code 916-287-8255. 0570.
All right, you guys got out that info, man. I'm gonna put it in the information below as well. And just to let you guys know, man, Rod and I hit that golf course a while back, and we definitely got to get out there again. Rod is a good dude, man. I vouch for him. So definitely, man, check it out. This is Anthony Grigsby, World Events Insurance, worldeventsga.com. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. San Joaquin Black Biz. Hey, Shop Black Stockton, Shop Black Business, support. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button down there so you can catch our next videos. And we'll see you next time. Thanks, Rob, man. I appreciate you coming out, my brother.
Thank you, man. Likewise.